Hi, I'm Mark Donegan, and welcome to the Marketing Execution Podcast. If you think platforms are just digital middlemen connecting buyers and sellers, you're missing the bigger picture. The best platforms scale by owning nothing, while pipeline businesses try to own everything. And that single difference has redrawn entire industries. After years helping companies navigate both models, I've seen what works and what doesn't when you move from pipeline to platform. Today's conversation dives deep into that strategy shift and why it matters more than ever.
Tune in, listen up, it's marketing time. Bright ideas sparking, growing your mind. From strategies to big exec dreams, catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Welcome to the Marketing Execution Podcast. This is the show for tech founders and leaders building B2B products and technologies. We show you how to go further, faster to get the business results you need.
From strategies to big exec dreams, catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Mark, I was thinking about something the other day that feels kind of obvious now, but was revolutionary not too long ago. I was thinking about companies like Uber and Airbnb. Uber, the world's largest taxi company, owns no cars. Airbnb, the largest accommodation provider, owns no real estate. It's the total inversion of how we think a business should work.
It is an inversion, and you've just hit on the single biggest mental model shift for any founder in the last 20 years. It's the whole idea behind his incredible book, Platform Revolution. You're talking about the difference between a pipeline and a platform.
A pipeline? What do you mean by that?
Well, think about a traditional business, like making a wool sweater. You have the shepherd, then the factory that makes the yarn, then the factory that knits the sweater, and finally the store that sells it. It's a straight line, a pipeline. Value is created step by step within the company's control.
Right, that's 99% of business history.
Exactly, but a platform doesn't do that. A platform's job isn't to create the value, its job is to connect the people who do. It facilitates the transaction between producers and consumers. eBay doesn't own the stuff being sold, it just built the town square where sellers can meet buyers. That is the fundamental difference. They outsource all the hard stuff, the inventory, the operations, which makes them ridiculously cheap to scale.
Okay, that makes sense, but it also sounds terrifying. If you're building a platform, you have this massive classic startup problem. How do you get producers if there are no consumers? And why would any consumer show up if there are no producers? It's the ultimate chicken and egg problem.
You nailed it. That is the single question that kills most platform startups before they even get going. The book lays out a few killer strategies for this, and the first one is my favorite because it's so clever. They call it piggybacking.
Piggyback.
Yeah, you find an existing pipeline business and build your platform as a better alternative. The value is instantly obvious. Uber didn't have to explain what a ride was. Everyone already knew what a taxi did. They just piggybacked on that existing user behavior and made it 10 times better with an app. Solved the problem.
So you're not creating a market from scratch. You're just, I guess, stealing one.
100%. Or another way is to choreograph the launch. I mean, think about Spotify in the early days. They didn't just open the doors and hoped artists would show up. No way. They painstakingly curated an initial library of amazing music from key producers, the labels, so that on day one, when the first consumer showed up, it was already an incredible experience. They faked one side of the market to attract the other.
Wow, so you basically build out one side of the marketplace yourself, even if it's not scalable, just to get the flywheel spinning.
Precisely. You have to get that flywheel spinning. You can't just expect it to start on its own. So many founders think if I build it, they will come. For platforms, that is a recipe for complete disaster. You have to solve the chicken and egg problem or you have nothing.
Okay, so let's say you do it. You piggyback or you choreograph it and you get users. The network effects are starting to kick in. Now you got to make money. I guess you just start charging a subscription fee, right?
Oh, see, that's the trap. That's the second place where platform founders get it so wrong. The second you start charging for something that used to be free, your users feel betrayed. It feels like a bait and switch. We see it all the time. Remember the uproar in 2023 when Reddit started charging a fortune for its API access? Developers who had built entire businesses on it felt completely burned.
Yeah, people were furious.
They were, because the value proposition was suddenly changed from under them. The key insight we talk about on the Marketing Execution podcast is this: you can't subtract value by adding a fee. You have to create new, additional value and charge for that.
So, what does that look like?
Well, instead of charging everyone to access the platform, maybe you offer an ad-free experience for a monthly fee. You're not taking away the core service. You're adding a premium layer. Or think about a marketplace. Maybe you allow producers to pay to find out more about what consumers are searching for. That's new data, new value. They're not paying for access they already had. They're paying for an upgrade.
Ah, so it's about adding features, not putting up toll booths on roads that were once free.
Exactly. That's the perfect way to put it. You can charge for selectivity, like a verified tier of producers. You can take a small percentage of transactions, which feels fair because you're only making money when your users do. But the golden rule is don't break the trust. The moment you make users feel exploited, they'll look for an exit. And in the platform world, a user exodus can kill you overnight.
Okay, that makes so much sense. But this brings up a whole other can of worms. What about governance? How do you stop your platform from becoming a total mess of low-quality users and scams?
That's it, isn't it? That is the absolute tightrope walk of building a platform. It's the moment you go from being a scrappy startup to a government, because that's what governance is. You're setting the laws for the digital nation you just built. And if you get it wrong, it all falls apart.
A government. Wow. Oh, that's a heavy way to put it, but I totally see it. It's like building this amazing city with beautiful parks and public squares, but you forget to hire a police force or set up a court system. At first, it's fine, but soon enough, chaos takes over.
Chaos is exactly the right word. Look, in the book, they talk about this idea of market failures, which is just a fancy term for a connection on your platform going bad, a producer who's a scammer, a consumer who leaves a fake, malicious review, a piece of content that's just flat out dangerous.
Right, the stuff that makes you immediately regret using the app.
Yeah, and this is the part that founders have to understand. This is the why it matters piece. The network effects that built your company, they work in reverse too. And trust me, they work about 10 times faster in reverse. One person has a great experience, they might tell a friend. One person gets scammed, they will tell everyone.
Oh man, yeah, that's so true. It's not just about losing one user, it's also about that one user poisoning the well for hundreds of others. The perception of your platform shifts from a cool place to find stuff to a risky place I should probably avoid.
Yeah, it becomes risky, and that risk erodes the core value. We've seen this play out on a massive scale. I mean, think about certain platforms where anyone can post anything. At first, it's this wonderful democratization of information, but without guardrails, without some form of governance, it becomes a place where people can't tell what's real and what's not. The signal gets lost in the noise.
And then people stop trusting the platform for its original purpose.
They stop trusting it for anything. The entire utility of the network is shot. All that hard work you did to solve the chicken and egg problem, to get the flywheel spinning, it can all grind to a halt because you didn't build a system to protect the quality of the interaction.
So governance isn't just about playing defense and stopping the bad guys. It's about something more.
It's about playing offense. This is the second big aha moment for founders. Good governance actually creates new value. It is a feature. Think about it. When a platform introduces a verified host or a top-rated staller badge, what are they doing? They're using governance to signal quality. They are making the platform safer, more reliable, and therefore more valuable.
Wait, hang on. So the system you use to enforce the rules is in itself a product that people desire.
Yes, that's it. It's not a cost center. It's a value creation engine. Your rules for who gets to participate, your standards for quality, how you handle disputes, that becomes your brand. It's what separates a high-end marketplace from a chaotic flea market. People will choose your platform and even pay more for the one that feels safer and more predictable.
Because you're buying trust.
You're buying trust. You're buying certainty. You're not just connecting producers and consumers. You're curating a high-quality environment for them to connect in. That is the job of a mature platform. And if you don't do it, I promise you, another platform will pop up that does, and they will eat your lunch. Because in the end, trust is the only currency that really matters in these ecosystems.
Okay, this is huge. This completely reframes how to think about this. So if I'm a founder listening right now, what are the first 3 things I need to put on a whiteboard to get this right from day one?
Tim, let's get into how people can actually use this. Grab that whiteboard.
Yes, let's do it. I'm ready. This is the stuff founders live for.
Okay, number 1, the absolute first thing to write down. You need to define your core interaction in one simple sentence.
The core interaction. What exactly is that?
It's the single most important action on your platform, the one event that creates the value. For Shopify, it's a merchant selling an item to a customer. For a SaaS tool like Miro, it's a team member adding an idea to a shared board. What is the one reason people show up?
So it's about the main event.
Exactly. It's the heartbeat. Everything else is secondary. If you can't state your core interaction in a single clean sentence, your platform is already too complicated. That's step 1. Nail that down before you do anything else.
Okay, got it. Define the heartbeat. What's number 2?
Number 2 flows right from that. You write down 3 and only 3 non-negotiable rules for that interaction.
Only 3? That sounds too simple.
Simple is the point. This isn't your 50-page terms of service. These are your foundational laws. Think about a platform like Upwork. Their core interaction is a client paying a freelancer for a project. What are their non-negotiable rules? 1, communication must stay on the platform before a contract starts. 2, payments must go through their system. 3, no fake profiles, period.
Wow, okay. So these rules are all about protecting that core interaction.
That's all they're about. They build a fence around the value. You break one of those rules, you're out. No appeals, no second chances. It sends a powerful message about what matters. It creates safety and predictability. Your first 3 rules must be that clear and that consequential.
That makes so much sense. Rather than controlling everything, you control the right things. What's the last thing for the whiteboard?
The third thing is the most fun. It's where you switch from defense to offense. You need to create one signal of quality.
A signal of quality? Like a review score?
It can be, but think bigger. A review score is passive. A signal of quality is a reward. It's a badge of honor. The best example, maybe ever, is Airbnb's superhost status. It's not just a 5-star rating. It's a visible, desirable achievement.
Ah, and people will change their behavior to get that badge.
100%. They will answer messages faster. They will keep their place cleaner. They will go the extra mile. Why? For the signal. It tells good consumers where to find good producers. It turns your governance, your rules, into a game that people want to win. It becomes a feature of your platform. And that is how you create real, lasting value. You make being a good citizen of your platform an aspiration.
Core interaction, 3 non-negotiable rules, and 1 signal of quality. That's actually a plan. That's something you can do.
That's the whole point, Tim.
Mark, this has been incredible. Can you just pull this all together for us? Give us the 1-minute version of everything we've covered today?
Absolutely. Look, it all started with one massive idea. You're not building a pipeline company that makes a thing. You're building a platform that connects people. But that immediately creates that huge chicken and egg problem. We talked about smart ways to solve that, like piggybacking on an existing market. Then we got into making money. But the big trap is charging for something people already had for free. You have to add new value, don't subtract it. And that brought us to the most important part, governance. The rules you set aren't a cost center, they are the feature. They create the trust that makes your whole world work. It all boils down to defining that one core interaction, setting 3 non-negotiable rules around it, and creating one signal of quality that becomes the ultimate prize.
Wow. Okay. So after all of that, from building the platform to governing it, if a founder can only remember one sentence from this entire conversation 5 years from now, what should it be?
That you aren't just building a piece of software. You are building a digital nation. And your code isn't the most important thing you'll write. Your rules are, because in the end, the culture you create, that is the product. The Marketing Execution Podcast is produced by Growth Stage Marketing. We are on a mission to see your company reach wild success using marketing pods.
Too big, accept dreams. Catch the buzz and join the execution. Marketing Convo.
Thank you for listening and being a part of the marketing execution movement and community. To learn how growth stage marketing clients reach more buyers and drive business impact, go to growthstage.marketing. That's growthstage.marketing.